Okay, this video is not going to be like incredibly exciting um, because most of my day yesterday was sitting and organizing bedroom furniture corrections, which is just not terribly exciting. But remember, I had told you I'd gotten these. We'd been to the dollar store and I got these so that I could have a very easy way to go through these, and it gives me a little bit more room. I can write down more here. I can add more pieces, fronts and backs. So I was going through, you can see here on the tab, this up here is all of the children's bedroom furniture. And then I have the Nandor Honti pieces, and then I have the, right here, the adult pieces. Now the adult ones, the adult bedroom pieces, I should say adult, like grown up. They just aren't children's. They're like regular bedroom. And when I say adult, it makes it sound kind of, you know what I mean. So I went through all of these and I put in, like, I'm gonna need some things that I currently don't have for certain styles. So I was going through a lot of pieces. I'm going to put this over here for a second. I was going through a lot of the pieces that made it into the second round of proofs. This is one of them, and you can see I've written some notes here, some notations here. They made it into the second round of proofs. However, I didn't, because I chose to concentrate on the children's bedroom and the Nandor Honti pieces. These haven't gone to the third set of proofs. So these are black and white copies that I made at the library and then attached to a thicker piece of paper. So there's some wonkiness there. I mean, you can already tell there's some wonkiness here. But basically, I'm looking at, do I want to continue moving forward with these pieces? And in here, the majority of the corrections with regard to the children's stuff is I need to make a piece a little bigger. I need to create a new piece because this one doesn't fit. Or I'm going to change up a design on something because I don't think it's going to work the way I want it to, even though I've already gone to the third proof, which is color. Like, you know, the backsplash needs to be 2 centimeters or 2 millimeters taller, that sort of thing. And again, I can continue notes here. There's some things when it comes to the dressers that I'm changing around with the backsplashes in the back of it completely. So I'm simply designing some new pieces to put those in. So the overall color, art, and design part of those pieces are done, whereas with these pieces I am in the color and design and final third edit of them. Does that make sense? I was talking to my husband this morning and I'm like, I don't know how these books like make it to it. There's so much, and I know I'm very nitpicky about things, but man, there's a lot that goes into the editing and going back and forth and back and forth. With these pieces in particular, these are all based on the Mary Frances Housekeeper, that kind of problematic book from the early 1900s. And I had based the design off of those original designs. However, I've made huge changes to them. And I think I'm going to make some more. This bed in particular is the one that I'm the most pleased with. I like these little features right here that I think, because I was making notations last night, and it's like, I think I want to add those here. I might want to change some things out. I like these curved elements. So I'm going to have to work some things out. I like the triple, but I think this is an overall better design, just when it comes to the illustrations, the balance, etc. So I'm probably going to do that with this one as well. And maybe, you know me, I always have different versions of everything. And I also want to make a squared off version, and I'm calling it squared and curved. So where these are curved for the head and footboards, I want to make a squared off one here for this one as well. And I also still have the French designed by Poul, Paul. I also think I want to use this, but I'm going to make some more changes to it. Plus, one of the people who has published these, like put them on their pages for free, because these are in public domain. These are from like the 1930s. I thought they were a little earlier. This is 1936. She just published some pieces that are a bed similar to this, a wardrobe and a nightstand, that are all more like grown-up kinds of stuff. So I wanna incorporate those as well. This was based on a Mary Frances piece. I'm gonna change it again. I want to lower these. I don't like the height on these. I'm gonna keep the width, but I need to add a top to it. And of course I want to have a version with functioning drawers, because I love functioning drawers. The artwork, not too fabulous on the artwork, but you can kind of see where I'm going. Then there's some pieces like this that I did attempt to put a top on, but it's, you know, it's not the right size. I need to resize it. This one is going to have the most done to this back piece, because I'm gonna change the construction method in here that I think is gonna work better. Overall, these ones in white, the bottom pieces, I nailed them on these. Then there's some pieces where I'm considering, it's like, do I want to do this piece? And I've made some notations on this one where I feel as though things need to come closer together and move a little taller, which is going to change a lot of the sizing here and the angles here. So I'm going to have to kind of work that out, because I like this piece. I also think I need to look at some historical pieces, because I remember having a dressing table like this as a teenager. So I just need to look at some pieces and see where I want to go with this. You know that I'm going to be doing this dressing table because I've hammered out the problems that it had, and I've written about it in my little notation. So this one will be coming along as well. I think this one is perhaps an easier piece to put together. Just me personally thinking it's an easier piece. I've got some other wardrobes and things. Oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, I'm making some big changes. This is based on a Mary Frances housekeeper. I'm changing around how the back is going to go together. I do like adding these pieces where there's like wood in here. I think that's kind of a neat thing. And I'm probably going to keep the feet on this one and do something with this artwork or akin to it. And then I'm going to change the mirror around. The trunk, and you can see I've added some bits on here. This just needs a little work. This is the toy chest turned into a trunk. I think I'm gonna either eliminate these or make them much smaller, the little feet. The wardrobes, I have now 3 different designs. I'm going to be changing this and these top parts. This is based on the Monnier piece that was in a French children's magazine. And I think I either need to turn this into a functioning drawer, or I need to make these wardrobe doors much longer. So I'll need to figure out how I want to do that, because I really need it to be a little bit more functional. And same thing here. I'm not sure. This is the another pool piece from like the 1930s, middle 30s. I like this piece, but I'm thinking that maybe I want to use it in a different type of capacity for, say, I mean, it's a nice little closet, or storage or pantry. I think it might be moving to a kitchen space. If I do keep it, I'm not going to be making this as round as it is. This would be more just have the edges rounded on the mirror part. So you can, I also have, like, here's the desk I was showing you yesterday. This was the black and white markup, and you can see I had originally not put a back piece on here, and you can see there's things that are missing. This is not quite where it needs to be. I would love to put a functioning drawer in this, but I don't think it's in the cards for it. And the reason, you'll see me as I'm flipping these around, I put number 10 on here. The numbers here correspond to the numbers that are, so if I pick that piece up and I decide I'm going to work on number 10 today, because I want to get this fixed, I can now flip to the number and go, okay, did I fix this? Did I do that? Because I can just cross these off. And I know this seems like a lot of organization for something that is considered a toy, but I want to get these right. So again, talking with my husband this morning about, I think that there is this idea that toys are supposed to just be toys and they shouldn't be designed well or thought about. And I'm thinking about, and when I say toys, not necessarily just for children, because let's say someone buys this for me in this final design, and they're an adult. I want them to feel as though they are successful in recreating what they have purchased from me. If they spent $4 to get a bed and a wardrobe and a nightstand, I want them to feel as though they are successful in creating a piece that they can be proud of, and not get angry and upset and not do it. That's not how you build efficacy. Efficacy is not something that stops being built when you are a child. Efficacy is continued through your entire learning, that's a very specific word, learning life. If you are a lifelong learner, you are continuing to build your own efficacy. And efficacy, remember, is there's a lot of practice, successes built on successes, learning from your failure, and your knowledge that you gain. It's successive attempts and knowledge. And we're back to my boy Bandura about this. It is essential. And you knit that together with some Vygotsky. Ooh, man, you're cooking then. You're cooking with gas. Zone of proximal development. Vygotsky. I'm also going to be revisiting these pieces. Now you can see on this one, if you look really close at the black lines, this was a very, very early attempt, and it was successful in that it got my feet wet, but I was still trying to figure out the programs. So this one I want to redesign, and it would be used with the pool stuff, because this is one of their designs, and I'm going to make it shorter. I might do just a version with 3 drawers, or maybe 3 drawers and 2 drawers up at the top, and then it needs a backsplash, which I already have designed for this piece, and tops, because if you remember these pieces, because I pulled these 2 out because I want to do a redesign and make a nightstand, but it's going to have not just the curve on the front, it's going to be all the way around, so it's a small freestanding table. And I'm going to remove 2 of the drawers, and there instead will be a lower shelf, which is just a piece of cardboard or heavyweight paper that goes into the bottom to help stabilize the legs, and just this one drawer for a nightstand. So it's like a little freestanding table. I'll have to do some sketches. I'm very bad about that sometimes, because I will do the sketches in my head and then just sit down and start working on them. And as regards the furniture, there's not a whole lot of sketches in my sketchbook because I do the sketching in my head. I manipulate it in my head, which is probably not the best way to do this. But anyway, that's where I am right now. I'm going to be, I'm working today to figure out how I'm going to be pulling the files off of my Kisa drive, my hard drive over here where I have everything stored. And not to be forgotten, the second book I bought, I also put all of this in here and noticed some living room corrections. I haven't started filling this out, mostly because I got myself so mentally overwhelmed with this one yesterday that I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know. And started to have kind of like a little a little minor panic attack. But slow and steady wins the race, old nut. So I am going to attack this like that Shel Silverstein poem where the little girl eats an entire whale. And she starts at the tail, and she's one bite at a time. And she's like 90 years old when she gets it done. So, I'm going to do a little straightening up on my desk, and then I'm going to get to work. And I'm really hoping that this is going to help me, because I'm going to start with this one and just keep moving forward. And each one of them gets crossed off, and I keep going. This is my little whale. I'm going to start chomping on my whale. Wow, that sounded really pervy and weird. Anyway, patrons, thank you for sticking with me. This video is way too long and way too boring. Thank you for sticking around and making me feel like I matter. I will see you in the next video.